Hello YouTube. To the question, do you like torturing yourself? I would answer, oh hell yes. Because that's what we're going to do today. This is, of course, once again, the Asus EPC 1001HA. And it's the bottom of it. Because we're going to do an upgrade. Oh yes, 2 gigabytes of DDR2 memory. We're going to find out whether this stick is still any good. I used this in a Dell laptop once and it wouldn't work. So I'm going to find out if this one will accept it. Hope it does, because that would make one hell of a video, right? And I always hate having to throw away video footage. Right, so there's the battery gone. Of course, I've obscured the Windows XP serial because I'm still one of those people that likes to obscure their serials, even though it's XP and it's old as all fuck. Anyways, let's see. I think this one will do. Let's get this one. That's too big. We need something a little bit smaller in that hole. You don't want to tear it up. That's too small. That one won't feel anything. And demonetized. Anyways, let's get that open. It's a little finicky. There we go. Take out the 1 gigabyte module here. There we go. A data memory, 1 gigabyte of PC2 6400S. Which is interesting, considering this CPU only runs at 667 FSB, so this is pretty much a waste of time. Alright. I'm just checking the memory configuration here. As you can see, this is a dual rank module here. This one is single rank. Well, no, it's actually dual rank as well. This is just higher capacity. Alright. We're gonna find out whether this works or not. Let's pop that in. And let's see if we can get this in a bit more gracefully. There we go. Of course, it's all plastic snap, so it doesn't matter if you actually snap it. Okay, so there is that. Let's put this slab of plastic back in that has to qualify as a battery. Weighs absolutely nothing at all. Should have enough charge to at least power on to see what's what. Yep, 8 posts, that's good. Yep, we now have, it's a little bit bright there. There we go, we have 2 gigabytes of memory. So now we can zoom in a little bit more here, so we can take a better look at the screen. So now we have 2 gigs. So let's actually boot into the operating system. And I'll hook up a charger. There we go. The interesting thing is, this memory module wouldn't work in a Dell Latitude laptop. But apparently works fine in this old Netbook, so that's good. I've never experienced Dell laptops and MacBooks to be that picky about memory, especially not in the DDR2 era. DDR3 is a completely different story, though. It takes its sweet time to boot. I don't think Ubuntu is really heavy enough to really benefit from 2 gigs of RAM. I think the operating system that's actually on this USB stick will actually make a difference. And that's my watch. Because I'm actually still receiving comments on the previous video featuring this very laptop. So that's going crazy. At least for my channel. Getting 1 comment an hour is actually a lot. Anywho, so it appears to be working. But this is not torturous enough, not even close. So I'm going to put in this USB stick, and we are going to go through torture lane big time. In fact, I'm just going to have a little bit of a drink here, because that is what I need to get through this with all of you guys. Right, let's go back to the BIOS here. Change our hard drive boot priority, so we can boot from the USB stick. Don't you just love how the light changes? And there we are. And now we play the waiting game. I will also try to time how long it actually takes for Windows 10 to install. Because this is Windows 10 Pro 32-bit, well, I will actually install the home version of Windows 10 and call it a day. We're gonna find out whether it was actually memory constrained, and whether that was the reason that it actually locked up big time last time I tried this. I think memory had quite a big role to play in this. But we're going to find out whether that's true or not. In fact, here is the phone. Let's start. Nice and fast. Very zippy. Well, there you have it. Windows 10 is now installed. It only took 33 minutes and 15 seconds. Subtracting the fuck up I did with not removing the USB flash drive, that's about 33 minutes. Yay! This was not agony at all. I'm lying. This was horrible. And his operating system is still far from usable. I can tell you that much. Although I will say, it is already more responsive than the first time I installed Windows 10. See, that was not bad for an operating system without any real drivers. Right. I was only missing the graphics driver. Everything else is already installed. That's neat. Alright, I can get that sorted. Because all we need to do is move the driver over from the Asus website. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright. Flash drive in. Background dimming. And let's do this upgrade. Graphics. Ooh, it has found it. Excellent. I know you can't see anything that's going on the screen because it's really annoying having to deal with white balancing and very bright surroundings. I mean, as I pan up there, it's absolutely fine, but as soon as I pan down here again, well, there you have it. Well, it's taking its sweet time. Let's give it as much time as it needs, and then we'll do a reboot. Okay, we're ready for a reboot. I'm going to start the stopwatch again. There we go. I'm going to start it as soon as the screen turns off so we can get an idea how long it would take to do a full boot. Of course, I have to remove the stick. There we go. It's now booting. It's fresh install of Windows 10. The first time I tried to install Windows 10, it would completely lock up on its first boot after I installed drivers. So let's see if it actually finishes booting this time. Looks like it is. Alright. Well, honestly, this is not bad. Well, we're not on a desktop yet, and it's definitely not in a usable state yet, and it won't be for a while because I still need to do some configuration work and whatnot. But so far so good. Let's see if it can boot within a minute and a half. Well, the answer is no, it can't. There's the desktop. Now we just have to wait for the icons to load on the taskbar. Well, my camera is saying, well... Oh, well, well, that's excellent. Right, so I need to swap camera batteries, and then I will install some software, and we'll pick it up from there. Alright, it is now the next day. I've installed some software, and now we're ready to actually start testing this machine, and what it can do with Windows 10. So let's just start out with the basics. Let's start up Outlook. This is Outlook version 2013. There we go. So we can resize windows. Let's start a new email. There we go. There we go. Put in some gibberish. And send. And boom, we've just sent an email from Windows 10 on a netbook. Alright. So that's working great, as you would expect. So there's that. Of course, we can also do some word processing in Microsoft Word. This is also version 2013. It's a bit slow to respond. But it's not bad. It's definitely usable. Some larger documents I feel would be a bit more difficult, but that's normal, I suppose. Alright, next up is web browsing. I've decided to use Firefox here because I could install uBlock Origin. I'm just liking it more than Microsoft. Too edgy for me. Alright, so let's try to open a website. You have to be very patient for it to actually start loading a page. Once it starts loading a page, it finishes instantly. It's pretty good. But it's just the time that it takes to actually process the request itself. That's where it's really slowing down. And we can scroll through it sort of fluently. Overall, system animations are pretty sluggish as well. So I disabled everything basically that I could. So the system is now nice and light. This is as light as it's going to get, so it seems to be working okay. I've also set everything to small. Of course, I've actually let me just put this away for a little bit. There we go. We'll get some more light now. I've set the taskbar to use small for the overall size and for the buttons and whatnot. I've set the desktop icons to small. So there's that. So now let's look for, let's go hardware unboxed again. Let's see if the the keys now work, so I can actually dim the display. Oh, that's so much better. Now let's go to the hardware unboxed channel here. There we go, it's slowly loading in. Let's do full screen.
Welcome to the second episode in our very first
Okay, let's check the quality settings. On Ubuntu, I've shown you. I think I did. Well, I don't think I ever recorded that. Or did I? Yeah, I did. Jesus, my memory. So now it's set to 480p. On Ubuntu or Lubuntu, it could only do 360p fluently.
If you missed episode 1 or the video explaining what the series is all about, then be sure to check those out. I'll link them in the...
This is very bad. 480p is a definite fail. Alright, let's try 360p. On a display of this size, it doesn't really matter that much.
Below. So on last week's episode, we had the first 5 PCs all in need
It's
of
actually
upgrades,
worse.
and
It
you, the
froze.
viewers, voted Hayden's CAD box the most worthy of receiving the proposed upgrades. The voting was...
Jesus. Oh, come on. Okay, so this actually requires 240p now. So this is definitely a lot worse than Ubuntu was. Overall system responsiveness is also a lot worse. So, well, yeah, there you have it. I'll reiterate the question when I started this video. Do I like torturing myself? The answer is yes. But this is downright torturous, using Windows 10 on an Atom N270 with 2 gigs of RAM. Now you can imagine how bad it was on the 1 gig that I tried before actually installing Ubuntu on it. So now we're basically sitting idle on the desktop. CPU usage is at about 3% at full clock speed. Memory usage is about 46%. Let's go to Performance tab here. It's actually not running full speed all the time. It's running 1.1, 1.2 gigahertz. So there's that. The disk is fully idle. It's definitely a processor in this machine that's holding it back now. It now has plenty of memory. It's actually cached a few programs in there. The disk is now more idle because it doesn't have to swap all the time. And the CPU is just basically bogged in every program you use. So there is that. So I hope you enjoyed this journey of installing and testing Windows 10 on this Asus EPC1001HA. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.